Hello there, and welcome to episode 117 of Little Big Knits. Nice to have you here. My name is Selma. I'm coming to you from Ottawa, where I live, and on this early September day. Thank you for joining me for this episode. We are going to be talking about my whips. I don't have any finished objects for today, and I also want to talk to you about my desire to make a Chanel jacket. A few people after my last episode asked if I had a list of Chanel jackets, and apparently I do. I own a few patterns, and there are others that are my favorites, so I will be telling you about Chanel jackets in 2026. I don't think I'll get to it with the remainder of this year, because we've only got 3 months left, and I've got plans for the remainder of this year already. But I do have a plan to make a Chanel jacket in 2026. And somebody suggested maybe we should have a jacket along or something like that. So I thought I would walk you through some of the options I am considering for my Chanel jacket in case you wanted to join me in 2026 to make a Chanel jacket or another kind of jacket. And then of course we've got a lovely hidden gems for today. So let's get going. Couple of other little housekeeping things, just so you know, we have a Patreon community in case you want to come over and check out. There is a free level and then 2 paid levels if you want extra content and chats there that are happening. And we also have the Kofi if you want to buy the podcast Kofi. And we also have 2 knit-alongs. We've got the Little Big Knits LBK Shop Your Stash SYS 2025, which is going strong on our Ravelry page. And this is where you are making things out of stash that you already have. This includes a variety of crafts. It could be fabric as well. It doesn't have to be yarn. It could be fiber. And it's happening over on Ravelry. You can also use the hashtag on Instagram. And if you tag me with a finished object, I'll share it in my stories. We also have another knit along, which are also the same. There's a thread in our Ravelry group, and there's a hashtag for Instagram, and that is the LBK Hidden Gems 2025. And this is where we knit patterns from designers, where the pattern has less than 50 projects when we start the pattern. And it's great to see what people are casting on. Also really inspiring to see in our Ravelry group as well as on Instagram. So feel free to join. Those are going on until the end of the year. You can join at any time, and there will be some prizes at the end of the year. So there you go. All right. What am I wearing today? It's a finished object from last year. This is the Mariposa cardigan by Helga Isager. But, right? Or was it Marianne Isager? I'll put it down here because right now I'm having a brain fart. I made this last year, and I really love this cardigan. It's quite a statement piece. It's really beautiful, and it's lovely to wear because it's lightly warm, but not very, very warm. I made it using 2 strands of yarn. The first strand was the Sadness Garn Tunlina, which is a fingering weight yarn that is a cotton linen viscose blend, I believe. So very sort of plant-based, summery kind of fiber. And then I used I think it was Bichebush. It was either Bichebush or Isager mohair silk blend to pair with it. And yeah, I really love this cardigan. And I was wearing it yesterday, actually, when I went to the Almont Fiber Fest, which I'll tell you a little bit about the end, and there'll be footage for that. And so I thought I'm going to wear it again today. It's just a really easy wear cardigan. It is a little slippery, so it does tend to ride frontwards and backwards a little bit. But And that's the nature of the combination of yarns. But it was so much fun to make. And actually, I have memories of being in New Mexico last year at the Ghost Ranch retreat. And so today my cup of tea is with a mug that my friend Lauren gave me from, this is the symbol of New Mexico, which is so beautiful. It's the Zia symbol. And yeah, so I'm feeling very New Mexico today. Lovely memories from New Mexico. So there you go. But what have I been working on? Let me tell you first a little bit about the cruise. I teased last time that I'm going to be going on a cruise, a knitting cruise next year. And the information is out and they are taking signups right now. This is a cruise with Expedia Cruises, and it is the Best of the Danube. I'll put the poster of it here, and I'll put links below. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. I think it's going to be fun and it's going to be soul nourishing. This is a cruise that takes us down the Danube from Budapest through the Danube Bend, Bratislava, Vienna, the Wachau Valley, Linz, Austria as well, and finishing in Passau, Germany. And I'm going to be on that cruise with Bristol Ivy, with the Cabin Boys, and who are Christopher and Jamie, and Leslie Snyder, who is the owner and of Rosehaven Yarns and is also a teacher. So very, very excited to be part of this. It's going to be in 2026. August 1st to August 8th. And in case you are interested, I'm going to leave the information below. They do have QR codes. I don't know if I can put those in there. If not, I will put links to where you can contact them to sign up, and you can get all the information. There are 4 different levels of cabins. Obviously, you can be single or shared, and it includes day trips. It includes obviously all the food and the entertainment, and we'll all be teaching. So I'm extremely excited about this, and I hope you'll check it out and maybe you'll join me. That would be really, really fun. Yeah, so head on over there and check it out if you are inclined to join a knitting cruise. I think it will be really, really very beautiful. A beautiful experience, and people who've gone on knitting cruises have enjoyed them so, so very much. And the nice thing about something like a river cruise is that it is a much smaller ship than something like a Caribbean cruise. I think there's a maximum of about 130 people that are in terms of participants. So it's actually fairly small, and is bound to be a beautiful and wonderful and memorable time. All right, let's get back to knitting. Let's talk about works in progress. The first thing I want to talk about is my Smookie. This was my birthday cast on. Here is the pattern. It's so beautiful. It was originally out of this book by Kate Davies called Sark. The patterns are available individually on her website. Now, I cast this on as a birthday cast on, which was at the end of June, and then somebody joked because I had so many issues with it, and I ended up ordering Kate Davies yarn that maybe it was more like a retirement cast on. So I think that is what it has ended up being. I ordered yarn from Kate Davies directly. Sorry for the noise. I ordered this Uskit yarn from Kate Davies, and I was gonna go out and look for yarn, then I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna buy this, because I originally started it with a BFL alpaca, which is so stunning, and I've already decided on another project for it, but I realized it didn't quite have the stitch definition that I needed for this project, because they are 1x1 cables. You really do need a yarn that's going to pop, and I felt like that yarn would be better for either larger cables or lace or color work or something like that. So I've already got a project planned for that, but I ended up ordering this. This is probably the barniest smelling yarn I have ever worked with. It's not only sheepy, it's actually Barney. And last night I was knitting on the sweater, and then I was like, my hands smell a bit like a barn. It's absolutely wonderful. I really, really love it. I was like, this is like, it's so wonderful to work with because of the smell. It's a delight to work with. And this is in the colorway that was actually used for the pattern. I don't think I've ever done this before. It's in the Dumra, I think it was called, Domra colorway, which was used in the original. And I am now making progress and really, really enjoying working on this. It is coming along. I just stop to smell it every once in a while, and it's really great. Now, I am terrible sometimes at reading instructions, and I had read all of these as 1x1 cables, but they're actually right twist and left twists. So I started off doing cables and then realizing, how come it's not looking right on the left leaning stitches? I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this to you so clearly. Let me see. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but down here I find that it's less, and then up here it really pops. And that's because I realized, now I decided not to rip back. You can also see it here. You can see how it really pops here and how here it pops less. So the difference between the 1x1 cable and the right twist are really quite significant. If you were able to see it, I would say it's significant. But I decided not to rip back because I think that once the sweater is done, it will be completely insignificant. And I'm really, really enjoying it. It is one where I do need to check the chart and see, okay, what am I doing here? But now that I have gotten halfway through the second chart, I think halfway through the second chart, or the second repeat, I should say, I'm just needing to glance and go, okay, now I understand what I'm doing. I'm seeing what's happening, and I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm leaving for the UK in a couple of days, and at first I thought I wasn't going to bring this, but I've decided that I will. I won't bring the book. I'll bring a printed version of the charts, and then I will be able to continue working on this and bring a little ball of wool with me. So that's going to be really great to continue to work on. The other thing that I've been working on is my Fiorellino by Isabel Kramer. And I tried it on last night. It's fitting beautifully. Oops, and I took it off and it's inside out now. And I think I have probably another maybe 2 or 3 inches to go on the body, and then it'll be done. And then I'll move to the sleeves. There is clearly a theme. I feel like I'm going through a little bit of an orangey kind of phase these days. It's interesting. I loved orange earlier in my life, and then for years I didn't do anything orangey like, and now it's not orange, it's more in the terracotta range. This is the Fiorellino by Mayak. And it's the watermelon sorbet. And this is a 50% Tibetan cloud wool, 35% baby yak, and 15% Italian linen. And it's knitting up, it's very soft and lovely, and it's knitting up beautifully. It's beautiful to work with. And it's just been a delight. And it's kind of at the stage where it's I'm just going down the body. So it's one of those things where this is the knit that I take with me when I might be knitting out in public. And the Smookie is one that I am at the moment working on at home, generally. So I'm just kind of making my way, and this will be coming on the trip with me as well. And I might just end up finishing it on the trip. We'll see. The pattern is a short sleeve pattern. If I have enough yarn, I will be making this into a longer sleeved pattern. And I do think that I will have enough yarn. Isabel Kramer makes it quite long, and I don't know I think she might be long in the torso. I don't think I'm going to need to make it quite that long. Right now it's kind of right at the belly button stage, so I really don't think I need more than, about this much more, and I think that this will take me to it. So I will have a whole ball left, or a lot of the last ball left. So I do think that I'll be able to make probably 3/4 length sleeves with that. But that's coming along beautifully. A really enjoyable knit, especially at this point. The yoke was slow. These are stitches that require, there's a lot of work for each of these 2 stitches. So they were slow going, I found. And so the yoke, I feel, took me longer than it normally would, but enjoyable, just a little bit slower. And now I'm on to the body. So that is, those 2 are really my main works in progress. The last one for now is, I don't know. We're in fall now, and because I had some stops and starts with this, I think I'm going to put it away for now. Last time I showed you 2 swatches and I wanted to make a chevron sort of Missoni inspired top. And the overwhelming winner was the Neapolitan combination of yarns. I had this pink and sort of light brown from Fiorellino. I had this lovely linen that I had gotten from Sarah Bauer of Yarns at Yin Hoo from a retreat. I had this Shibui paper yarn, can't remember what it's called right now, and I had the BC Garn Lino. And I started this top a couple of times. The first time I did not get my stitch count right, and which perplexed me, and then I started again and it was way too big. So this is going to, here was the swatch that won. There were definitely people who preferred the green, but I decided on this. I do think I'll use the green and tan for something else, but this just ended up way too big. So somehow my calculations are just taking me a long time. I don't know what's going on. I think I need to minimize this quite a bit. So I thought I'm going to focus on those 2 for now, and I will come back to this. I've made notes of what I cast on, and I'm going to, figure that out eventually. And I was starting this as a bottom up. I often find t-shirts, when I want to knit something that's kind of more just me creating it as I go, I find bottom up a little bit easier. But I'm going to ponder this, and I might end up starting it more as a top down. We'll see. We'll see, but this is going to be something that I will get to by next spring, if not earlier. I am wanting to figure this out. So, but right now, we'll put this in the naughty corner. That is essentially what I am working on. And I have my 2 projects that I will be taking with me on the trip. And I might bring a little something else, but I am expecting to go to places that have yarn. And I do imagine that I will probably come home with some yarn. My friend Kate and I will be doing a little tour of the Republic of Ireland and hoping to go to the Aran Islands if weather permits and we can cross. And so I think we both will probably walk away with something that is from there. Then we're also going to be in the Cork area, and you never know what we're going to come home with. So if I happen to finish those 2 projects while I'm away, I can start something else. So anyway, that is my knitting for today. Let's move on to the Chanel jacket, made famous by Chanel, the designer. And actually I wanted to bring, but I don't have it with me, my mother knit a Chanel jacket. I have shown it on the podcast a long time ago. She made a Chanel jacket and a skirt to go with it in the 60s at some point when it was very, very much in fashion. Unfortunately, the jacket doesn't fit me very well. The arms are a little too tight. It's not the best fitting jacket, but it's absolutely beautiful. I'll try to remember to bring it maybe next time and show it to you. It's brown with black details and it's got brass buttons on it. It's really lovely. And I have been wanting to make one for the longest time. It's such a classic design. You can wear it dressed up, you can wear it dressed down, you know, a t-shirt and jeans, and I just think it's such a wonderful thing, and I've taken so long to get to the point where I'm like, this has to be an immediate goal. So a few people asked me if I had any particular patterns that I liked. So what I have done is written down, how many have I got here? 4 that I have looked at, but I will create a bundle with a few more. There were some other ones that I liked, but they weren't in English. One in particular was not in English, although I thought it was quite a lovely jacket. I think it was in Danish or Norwegian. So if there are any people who would understand that or who would want to do the translation for it to make it, I'll include it there. But I won't talk about it today. So today, the first one that I want to talk about is actually a very recently published one, and it's by Zanetta Knits. And this is called The Blazer. She uses a spin cycle nocturne yarn for it, so it's got sort of a color changing aspect to it, but I think I would probably make this ideally with 2 strands that would create a little bit more of a, you know, sort of tweed look to it. But I love the details on this jacket. I love the fringe on it, and it's a seamless top down, I'm pretty sure it's top down construction, and it's just got beautiful details on it. It's a sport weight, so I think, you know, with a 24 stitch gauge, so I think choosing a fingering with a lace weight, for example, could work really nicely. And it has 9 sizes ranging from 35 inches to 67 inches. And it has a nice fit. People have made nice versions of it. I think my biggest stumbling block that is coming, that I have regarding the Chanel, is like what color to make the damn thing in. And so that's something I'm going to have to ponder really hard to figure out, what do I want to do? And I also have to figure out, you know, maybe I just make one out of whatever I have, and then I make a second one in another color. You can have more than one Chanel jacket, especially if you're making it yourself. So that is the one by Zanetta Knits. I think that's probably the one that I'm going to make. However, Moreka Knits also has a lovely one as well. This one's called the Manon jacket. It also came out not too long ago. Perhaps the Chanel jacket is having a bit of a revival. I don't know that it's ever gone into, you know, too much into the sidelines. It's always kind of remained in fashion. But right now in the knitting world, I would say that it's got a little bit of a revival happening. This one is knit out of Woolfolk Flet with mohair or a worsted weight yarn. And Flet, I think, is a sort of loosely spun yarn with some linen flecks, I believe, in it. And it's also seamless, and as you can see from the texture, it creates a beautiful, beautiful texture. You could just use worsted, but I think that there's something nice in the texture that's been created with this one, with the Flet and the mohair. I think she has another version in the pictures that's just a worsted yarn. This one has a 20 stitch gauge, And there are 7 sizes from 31 to 51 inches. Did I say that it's also seamless? And yeah, it's really quite lovely as well. Sort of a bit of a simpler construction, I would say, than the blazer, and lovely. The third one I want to mention is a design by Camilla Vad, sorry. This is called Mellow. This is probably the most relaxed of the ones that I have seen. It's sort of a garter texture jacket. It's a merino mohair blend with an 18 stitch gauge. Now this one is not very size inclusive. There are only 3 sizes: small, medium, large. And actually, I'm sorry, I did not even write down what the range actually was in that. But this could just be almost more like an everyday cardigan. It's got a little bit less detail to it. It's a little bit more simple. So in some ways, a little bit less intimidating. You know, if one didn't want to do all the stuff but wanted a nice little jacket, I think this one is lovely looking. The last one I'm going to mention from the Chanel jackets is by Hintermstein. Now, I'm going to talk about one of her patterns, but she actually has many cardigan jacket-like garments that are very Chanel-like. And she's actually got 2 that have the name Chanel in them. The one I'm going to talk about is called Chanel Blues, but she has another one called Nearly Chanel. The one that's called Nearly Chanel, I think she has actually taken out of print. It was an older design, and she decided that she was not happy with her design, her instructions in that one, and has taken it out of circulation. But she has newer ones that are very Chanel-like, and she has a lot of really interesting details on her patterns as well. The one I'm going to talk about today is Chanel Blues, and I will include those in the Chanel bundle that I'm going to create for you guys. This one, Chanel Blues, is made with like 2 different yarns to create this sort of blue-black look to it. It is seamless. It has got a 19 stitch gauge, and there are 8 sizes from 33 to 58 inches. And this was one of the first ones. I own 3 patterns. I own her Nearly Chanel and Chanel Blues, and I also own the Zanetta Knit one. So as I get closer, I will really figure things out. The 24 stitch gauge, if I can meet it, I think what I'm going to do is choose my yarns, swatch, and maybe choose a couple of different options, and then take it from there. If you happen to have an opinion on what color Chanel jacket I should make, I'd love to hear it. Maybe you'll inspire me. So anyway, that is that on the Chanel jacket, and more to come on that in 2026. All right, let's move on to my one hidden gem today. I wanted to do more, but I am kind of hysterically trying to plan for my trip. So I thought I got to keep this a little bit simple, if possible. Editing can take quite a long time, so I thought I will only talk about one hidden gem, although I usually would rather talk about more than that. This one I'm going to revisit Aisté Butkevičiené, who is a Lithuanian designer. She has a lovely classic aesthetic. She's been designing for quite a while, and I do say that I would say she's classic, and she designs primarily sweaters and primarily for women. When I mentioned the Voyage cardigan that I made last episode, you'll remember I made a white version last episode. I showed it to you. A few people said that they've knit her designs and she always has really interesting details in them. Although she does not have a large number of projects, it seems from the comments that I received that she is actually fairly well known, perhaps more in Europe and the Russian-speaking population. So You saw the Voyage last time. I love the fit of this cardigan. I'm really quite impressed with the details in this cardigan, and has inspired me when I think about other cardigans actually and short row details on them. So although there were some slight translation things in this one, I think it was a very interesting and overall well-written pattern. DK, 20 stitches, 6 sizes. These will all be in centimeters, between 82 centimeters and 116 centimeters. So I won't say anything more about that one. I've talked about it before. I've chosen 3 others. This next one is really fun. It's called Iceberg. It is a hoodie, although you can make it without the hood as well. It's just a really fun sort of lacy textured hoodie with a bulky gauge of 15.5 stitches. And there are 3 sizes. The range is between 80 and 124. So it's meant to be sort of oversized. So even though there aren't many sizes, I think it has a little bit more variety in terms of how you can make it fit you. I was drawn to this one the moment I saw it. It was really great. I seem to have a little froggy in my throat today. The next one is called Equisetum. And it is a beautiful sort of textured V-neck. It has really nice fitting shoulders and top. I find really, really nice. When I was looking at the projects, it seems to fit people very nicely. It is made out of a ribbon yarn, although she doesn't say which one. It's considered Aran, but there are 21, it's a 21 stitch gauge. So I think a worsted or DK weight could work fine. This one has 7 sizes, from 95 centimeters to 130 centimeters. I think it's got a really interesting texture pattern on it that looks a bit like a slip stitch type of thing or a dip stitch type of thing, but she doesn't really describe it, so I'm not 100% sure. But I really like the fit of this one, and it's her most recent design. And the last one that I wanted to talk to you about here is called Almanac. And this is actually almost a Chanel-like jacket. I could have included this in my Chanel bundle, and maybe I'll put it in the bundle because it's just got a very classic fit, and it's got a sort of a really nice kind of grid-like texture on it. And it just looks really lovely. I could totally see myself making this one. It is a sport weight gauge of 23 stitches. It also has 7 sizes, and it has sort of a straight sleeve, although one could taper that quite easily, and it just looks like it has a lovely fit as well. Judging by the Voyage, I would imagine that it would be a nice fitting cardigan. So there you go. That is a little look at Aisté's, I'm not actually 100% sure how to pronounce her name. It could be Aisté, but I love her work. The Voyage, I believe, I can't remember when it was from. Did I say last time it was from 2017 or somewhere around there? And it was, it had really interesting details in it. So I trust that she probably has interesting details in her other patterns as well. So there you go. Just a last couple of things. I mentioned to you that I was reading a book called, or listening on Audible to a book called A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. I loved the book. I could not stop listening to it in the end. I was just wanting to find opportunities to listen to it all the time. A really lovely book. I still miss now the 16-year-old character. I mentioned to you last time how much I enjoyed her. The whole story was very, very touching and moving and comical. And although there were moments where I was like, can I listen to it? Because there were times where I found it emotionally difficult. it was totally worth it in the end. And it was a lovely, lovely story that really had a lot to ponder and a lot to think about. There is some darkness to the story for sure. But overall, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I have since started listening to a book by James McBride called The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store, but it's been a little bit hectic lately. There's a lot happening. There's been a lot happening, and I've been trying to get ready for this trip and other things happening, so I haven't had a time to really get into it. So hopefully on my trip, I'll have a little bit more of a chance when I'm traveling, and I'll be able to get into it. I really like the narrator, Dominic Hoffman. He narrated his other story that I listened to, Deacon King Kong. And James McBride's writing is there's a lot of comedy in it, a lot of interesting characters. So I'm looking forward to that in this book as well. I went to see The Roses the other night, a remake of The War of the Roses. This one is with Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch. A lot of fun. Great chemistry. They're such great actors. They pulled it off. It was so much fun. Really laughed out loud. Hilarious dialogue. It was a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed it. And then, as I mentioned earlier, yesterday I went to the Almont Fiber Festival. I went primarily to meet up with a friend who was coming in from Barrie, my friend Laurie. And so I did get a chance to walk around. I went to the Mississippi Mills Textile Museum. It's part of the festival, and there's always an interesting exhibit. And there was an exhibit of a paper artist. She had really, really interesting work. But I was wearing this cardigan, and one of her pieces was like, I felt like I could just blend right into it with this cardigan. So I took this picture. It was just such a neat, actually I took two pictures. Neat to think, oh my gosh, my cardigan and that paper just look like they belong together. So that was really lovely. I also walked around the festival, got some footage for you, and so I will leave you with that today. The next time you see me will probably be in a month, because I'll be away for 3 weeks, and then once I get back, I'll settle in and hopefully get myself back in front of the camera, and you'll definitely see some footage from my trip around Northern Ireland and the Republic, as well as I'll be in Falmouth and in London. So you'll definitely see some of that next time, and I'll tell you all about it. So until then, friends, take care.
Another night and I'm just walking, city lights and people talking. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I wonder if you got that feeling, staring at your bedroom ceiling. To think about me the way I think about you. Could you tell me, should I let you go? Yeah, I gotta know if I'm gonna be yours. So don't you keep me waiting. Yeah, I have to know if you wanna be mine. 'Cause this is so frustrating. Tell me now, don't keep me waiting. Hey, The peaceful walls get so depressing. I'm so tired of my second guessing, reading every text you sent just one more time. It's quiet when we both are sober, but 2 drinks in and we start all over again, and it feels so right. So just tell me, should I let you go? Yeah, I gotta know if I'm gonna be yours. So don't you keep me waiting. Yeah, I have to know if you wanna be mine. Just because of you. Yeah, I gotta know, yeah, I gotta know if I'm gonna be yours or don't you keep me waiting. Yeah, I have to know, yeah, I have to know if you wanna be mine, 'cause this is so